So what I want to do, and I know there's quite a few people throughout our trading family here on both sides of that are directly referred by me, and then of course some people that are in our team all the way up to Mr. Haynes, um, that trade different stuff, right? I know there's a lot of people that trade US 30, that trade indices. Some people are trading gold. Not everybody's doing stock options. And as you get as you get more gooder, yeah, I used horrible English here. I said that on purpose. As you get more gooderific at trading, you'll begin to venture out, right? Like for example, today, SPY was like trash, right? And it just so happened that my favorite trade sharing person over on Plato's platform dropped a was that today or yesterday? Maybe it was yesterday. Anyway, dropped a trade idea for um NAS 100, right? Yeah, it was today, NAS 100. So I jumped over and started looking at QQQ because NAS and QQQ are the same thing. I'm like, okay, it seems like it's moving pretty decently. It's not doing something, and that's something you'll need to be able to do is look if your primary interest, your primary instrument, your primary market isn't moving the way you want to. All trading is done exactly the same way. There's no new nothing under the sun, right? So I looked at the trade. I went in, I looked at QQQ. I saw a dragonfly followed by a spinning top, came up to resistance. I hit the go button when it went down, stayed in the trade till I got up my level, and I made some money, right? So when you have a set of rules and guidelines that you stick to, you should be able to pinky swear, whatever, right? You should be able to trade just about anything. Now, does everything move the same? No. So right before this, we jumped on here. I was listening to Tori Trades, and she was talking about how she had a trade. She was up $60,000. I don't know about y'all, but if I'm up $60,000, I'm hitting the freaking close button. I'm not. I'm no. I'm hitting the close button. Babe, be quiet. I'm hitting the close button. So she said she went to bed, blah blah blah, and she in the middle of the night she heard a computer doing all kinds of alerts, alert 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 alert. So something happened in the market overnight to where that 60,000 went to 0,000, and I'm thinking to myself, stop loss, something in there. And again, she trades big money, guys. She's trading like, I don't know how big her account is, but it's super big. So, she's like, well, I'm still in the trade. I'm gonna wait for it to come back. And here's why I brought that up is I don't care how much experience you have, we still do dumb stuff, right? I mean, we're just gonna do dumb stuff like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna stay in this trade, and I would have closed that trade, took my 60 grand, set maybe another trade with a stop loss somewhere in there. So if I did lose some money, I wasn't going to lose all my $60,000. Can you guys hear the fire trucks? So long story short is if you're going to trade something, especially if it's overnight, make sure you have a plan in place to protect your capital. And even as much as protect your capital, just get some more capital added onto the capital that you have, right? It's cool to have goals like, oh, I want to have a $10,000 day, yay! But at the end of the night, if you're at 8,700, I'm closing the trade. I'm gonna close it, and I'll wake up the next day, and if it went up higher and I hit my goal, posthumously, I guess you want to call it. If I hit my goal, I'll be like, I'm gonna be okay with that. At least I got $8,700 and it didn't go the wrong direction. So let's talk about TradeLocker, right? So I'm gonna pull up trade. Well, how do I want to do this? Give me a second. Let me think about this. Let's do this. All right. Maybe some motivation here. So I've been tracking the Plato's trades here that I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. Started on May 2nd and started running these. And I zeroed out my balance because I wanted to show you guys the actual dollars in terms of running money over here. So there's been 10 trades, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 trades so far, right? That have happened in the last 12 days, give or take. That's pretty decent. The trades that I'm looking at taking and getting into, and I've added some extra columns. I'm going to be more diligent about tracking this because I just want to see. But in all of this, 2 of them hit stop loss. This one I didn't take. I did not take this trade because it was, I looked at the trade and it wasn't below my tricky wick for entry. I'm glad I didn't because that would have been 150 pip stop loss. That's part of learning how to, that's when you learn how to trade, you know, you don't just take a trade idea because somebody put it out there. Because I see a lot of people, oh, the trade didn't make it to TP3, so I lost money, right? So just a general idea when you guys are tracking trades, and I wanted to share this with you because to me, $7,000 in 12 days is pretty good money. It's not $60,000 that you lose overnight like Tory Trades did, but I'll take it, right? So I created this little spreadsheet that I'll share with you guys if you want it. If you're tracking Platos, if you're doing something else and you want to change the name and you want to use a spreadsheet for gold or oil or platinum or whatever you're doing, you can, right? Which is fine. But just to give you a general idea on how it works, right? Especially if you're doing a funded challenge, right? If you've got a funded challenge, you've got a bit, whatever your account balance is, you can put it at the top. I sort of just did this upside down with some examples to put in here to show you how they did. So the trade that went yesterday at 1222 would have been, if I was trading it, was at a 0.06 lot size. The stop loss was set at 200 pips. It went into a 123 pip drawdown, which at a 0.06 lot size was $744. The TP1 pips was 150. It hit TP1, that would have been $900 on that trade, right? For that, the big challenge is, can you withstand a 123 pip drawdown? And if it went to 200 pips, right, would I be able to sustain that? Now I set my stop loss based on the pips that are set to not be more than 1% of my balance. So whatever this is, so 1% of this would be 1340, right? So $1,340. I'm going to adjust my lot size based on the pips for the stop loss. If it goes to a win, it's money over here, right? You guys following me on that? I just want to make sure that I'm not losing more than 1% if it goes and it hits my stop loss, right? I may bail out early because most of the time I'm going to set an alert at 50% of the stop loss, and I'm going to go evaluate to see if I want to stay in the trade or not. I may just close the trade. Just depends, right? So this one had 123 pip drawdown. So that would have been $744. Now, most people would have been looking at like, oh my God, I'm in the negative $744 on the close. Totally up to you. I'm at a 1% loss. So I stayed in the trade, $900. This is a trade from the day before. This is Tuesday, right? At a 0.7 lot, 150 pip stop loss. It drew down only 31 pips, which was $217. TP1 hit at 200 pips. That was a $1,400 win at a 0.07 here. Now, I put this as an example. I wanted to show this to you guys because as you're tracking your trades, right, especially if you're taking trade ideas, you need to have some way that so to give you some confidence. And the way this works, right? So, for example, if a stop loss got hit, this was a win, this is a win. The next trade, there was a $300 stop loss hit, right? I'm going to have all of this stuff built in. So maybe on Friday, blah, 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 stop loss got hit. It's a $300 loss. It's going to adjust my balance here. Next day, I got a $500 win. The next trade, I got a $250 loss. The next trade, I got a $600 win. It's going to adjust this. And I would suggest you guys use something like this. Now, I'm not taking any trades. I might just track them. You know, just highlight this in green. If it goes to TP2, I might just put it, if it goes TP3, I'm not doing anything past the TP1 on this. And I'm setting my stop loss at whatever the pips are. I'm setting my stop loss to be not more than 1%, right? So just wanted to share that with you guys as a forest rule. You guys can do whatever you want to, right? When you guys are trading and taking these trade ideas, you can do whatever you want to. Um, again, I think 8 wins out of 10 trades in 12 days is pretty good. So let's talk about TradeLocker. So does everybody have their TradeLocker open on their computer? Does anybody not? If you're not, just raise your hand.
No.
Okay. So when you go into TradeLocker, right? And this was the trade from Wednesday, right? Very, very easy process. The balance that you're going to do. So first thing I'm going to do is I always like to come in here and take a look at numbers. I'm going to go over to TradingView. I'm going to look at my TradingView chart, see if the entry makes sense for me to get into the trade at all, right? So I'm going to go over to TradingView. I'm going to set it all up, make sure it makes sense. She does immediate market execution, but when you've got a 200 pip move or 150 pip move, you're okay and you don't have to get in it immediately. Like you got a few minutes to set it up and check it out. So typically what I'll do is I'll come over here. I'd like to do a pending order. So on that one, hold on, let me pull it up over here. I got it up. So the entry was 42,000, right? So the entry was 42,000. It was a sell. I want to hit the take. Am I recording? I think I am. Hope I hit the record button.
You did.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yep, I'm recording. So cool. So in this process, right? So first of all, this is the entry 42,000. My take profit is going to be where I'm going to get out, which is TP1, which is 41,850, right? 41,850. And I know at a 0.01 lot size, 42,000 to 41,850 is 150 bucks, right? It's 15,000 ticks. It's 150 bucks at a 0.01. At a 0.07, it's $1,050. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to set my stop loss. The stop loss was 42.2. So hopefully you guys are following me this on your TradeLocker. 42.2. So you got your pending order at 42,000. Take profits 41,850, and your stop loss is 42.2. The reason I'm doing this on a pending side is because I'm not going to do an immediate execution because price is way up here and it's completely irrelevant. On this, most likely I would have looked at this and said, okay, the whole reason I'm doing this is a pending order because I want to look at how much my percentage is for a loss. I can come down here and I can adjust my lot size to whatever percentage of my balance. If I don't want to lose more than 1% of my balance, I can adjust my lot size accordingly, right? I'm not just going to come in here and put a 0.25 lot, right? Because at 0.25 lot, which some people do, that's a 3% loss, right? That's a $5,000 loss if this goes to stop loss. I ain't pulling a Tory trades and losing $60,000 on a trade, right? So I'm going to adjust my lot size down to right around 1%. You can do whatever the heck you want to, right? If you want to put in a dollar amount, you can put in a dollar amount, right? You can adjust any of these that you want to. Now understand, if you put in a dollar amount, it's going to move your stop loss, right? So if you're going to take her trades exactly as she presents them, now you could go to TP2 or TP3 or whatever TP you want to, right? You can also get out early, right? If you want to get out early, if you want to get half, go to half the way, you can always set an alert on your TradingView chart and set it up half. So when it hits half, it alerts goes off, then you're going to make half the money. So instead of making $1,050, you made $525. Anybody okay with 525 bucks? Yes, no, right? So we're okay with 125 bucks or 525 bucks. So that's how I take those trades, right? On the other side of that, I'm also like I looked at the trade, was it the trade before that or whatever, and said, do I actually want to get in that trade based on price action or whatever? Now she does have drawdown. This had a 123 pip drawdown. That's huge, right? The drawdown, let's pull it down here. I can see the drawdown was right about there. So the drawdown was $978, right? In drawdown from where the entry was at a 0.07 lot size. That's a 0.73% of my balance. Am I okay with that? Again, are you okay with losing this much money on whatever your balance is? And this could be $97 of a $10,000 account. It could be, you've got to figure out what your loss percentage is and slide this around until it gets where you want it to get, so that if it does go into a loss, you're not going into freak out zone, right? Does that make sense? Does there anybody not understand or not following what I just said? If I need to go back and rewind, I can do it again. And eventually, as you guys are doing your spreadsheet, you're going to know what lot size you need to use to stay at your 1%. Now you can do 2%, you can do 3%, you can do 10% if you want to. Totally up to you how you set that up, right? Completely up to you how you set that up and how you want to move through that. So as you're taking these trades, make sure you track them, make sure you log them, make sure everything is set up. And of course, when you've got all of this looking okay, you just hit the button right here. It'll be on a market execution and you're off and running, right? If it's a pending order, you just come in here and turn off pending, right? You hit the pending button, and then you can just come in here and come down here and hit the go button, and you'll be off and running, right? You'll still want to come in and just hit your entry for your stop loss and your profit or wherever you want to get to. Put those in, and then hit the go button right here, and it'll take off and it'll run. And then of course you just got to decide when you want to get out of trade. Do you want to let it go to TP1? Do you want to get out early? Do you want to risk losing this money? You just got to be comfortable with this, Miss May. You have to be comfortable with, if this goes to stop loss, am I going to be okay losing that much money on this trade, right? That's why I recommend when you guys do something like this that you go into a demo account and you practice this on a demo account for about 12 to 15 trades so that you can do the math, right? So that when you come in and you're doing this, you have all this data to say, okay, this, drawdown 123 pips on this one, 31 pips on this one. How do you figure out drawdown? Really easy, right? You open up TradeLocker, you take your stop loss, you see that it activated here, price came up to here, you simply slide it down, and there you go, and you look at drawdowns right there, 0.99%, $1,341, right? In drawdown based on, that's not right because our pending was, okay, there we go, better. $978 in drawdown based on the entry here, right? So that's how you calculate drawdown. If price only came in a little bit, you can just slide this up and down and go put it right on your spreadsheet. Very easy to do. You can figure out all the math in here simply by using your software. And after the trade is closed, you can come back in and do just like I did. You can come back in and use the trade is closed, come into pending, put all the numbers in here. Maybe you got out a little bit early. Maybe you got out at 41,822, right? Got out a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit further, right? I should say, maybe let it go a little bit further. You got out down here, you stayed a little bit longer. Or maybe you got out a little bit earlier, maybe you only went to 50% and got out here, it's $550 or whatever, right? You can calculate all this stuff and you can put it on your spreadsheet so you know, here's your lot size. If you want to create a column for your percentages, right? What is my percentage? What kind of percentage did I have, right? 0.79%. Is that okay with you guys? Does that help?
Yes.
Does anyone have any questions? I can go over it again. We got time.
The calculations, coach, on your chart, did you use TradeLocker to calculate? Or did you manually calculate?
Can you clarify?
Okay, so you had said that you used 0.06 because you wanted to use 1% of your balance. And I was just I used to know how to do this and I forgot how to calculate manual pips to know. I'm looking at, can you bring your chart back up, your spreadsheet?
Yeah, I'm not calculating anything manually. I'm just using the software because it's right there. Right? I
Okay,
mean, it's literally everything is right there. When she gives you the trade idea, right? Everything is right there. So you don't have to calculate anything manually. That's the whole point of what I was just showing you is you can use the software to calculate it. It takes literally 2 minutes to open up the trade and figure out what you're doing. Now, said that to say this. If you're an affiliate and you want to attract some more people into your trading club, you can do stuff like this on TradeLocker or on TradingView, and you can come in and set up a TradingView chart. You can do a screen recording and you can show people this is what the entry was, this is where the exit was. If you entered here and you got out here, I always say, how much money would you have made at a 0.01 lot size? I don't know if you guys have seen my videos on YouTube, but you can show people that they can take this with an 80% win ratio. That's pretty freaking good, right? So as I continue to track this throughout the month, where she's going to be at the end of the month, where she's going to be at the middle of next month, I'm going to do some backtracking and try to update my spreadsheet so I can get more numbers in here to get a better win ratio. I know the week before last she had five US 30 trades that all were wins, right? That's a big deal, right? So 5 in a row and all wins, that's a big deal to be able to do that. The thing I want to make sure that you guys understand, right? Where is the thing that I want you guys to make sure that you understand is when you come in and you set her numbers in here and you put her numbers in or anybody else's numbers and you put that stop loss in, you need to make sure, right? You need to make sure that you're okay with losing this much money or however much money this number is based on your balance. If you got a $10,000 account, if you have a $1,000 account, are you okay with losing this money? Can you adjust your lot size down far enough, right? 0.01 lot size is 200 bucks in this loss. If you got $1,000 account, are you okay with losing $200? If not, you might not want to take the trade, right? You might want to wait till you get some more cash in your bucket, or you pull the stop loss down and you get out halfway there, maybe $100 or maybe $50, right? It's your money. You've got to decide how you want to play the game, how you want to set yourself up for positioning. Personally, I would seriously take a look at trying to go through a funded challenge, get yourself some big money so you're not playing with any of your own cash, but you still want to be conservative in how you trade that stuff. You don't want to, oh, I'm going to get in and get quick $2,500 a day. No, right? Don't do that. That's just craziness. Deborah, did I answer your question okay?
yes, I had to take myself off of mute, but yes, you did.
I
That's
mean,
what I want to understand. And would
yeah,
you
every
share
trade
your
that you're
chart with
taking,
me?
I'm sorry, say again.
Would you share your chart with me, please? Your spreadsheet?
Yeah, just send me your Gmail, message me your Gmail address.
Okay,
And you guys can add extra columns on that spreadsheet, anything that you think you need that's going to help you do the trades better. And I would say go in and do as many trades as you need to get a good idea on understanding how drawdown works, understanding how the stop losses work, understanding what your percentage of wins and losses are. And that goes with anything you're trading, right? If you're trading gold, oil, SPY, QQQ, or whatever, what is your average win ratio? How many times do you win? How many times do you lose? Out of the last 50 trades, how many trades did you lose, right? If you're losing too much, then what do you need to do to adjust? What is it that you're missing, right? What is it that you're missing and you're not getting in that trade? And it could be just getting in too early. Maybe you're getting out too early. Maybe you're panicking because you went into a little bit of drawdown or pullback or a little bit of a negative, and you're not sticking to your guns and committing to the trade of saying, I'm going to stay in this trade till it gets where I want to go, or I'm going to stay in this trade till it hits my stop loss. Either one or the other, right? It's making that commitment and staying in that trade so you win. Hey Dennis, I didn't see you jump on.
Coach, would you share it with me also? I'm gonna send you my email.
Oh. Yep. Anybody else have any questions, thoughts?
So you want us to send us our email to you for that?
Yeah, if you want
Mm-hmm.
this spreadsheet right here,
Mm-hmm.
if you want a copy of this, I'll need your your Gmail address. And then of course you can put whatever your starting balance is up here. I like to put the day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday here, the date, was it a buy or sell? What time was the trade? What lot size am I using? The pips on the stop loss is easy because, and she tells you what they are, right? Stop loss hit. It's a big red button here. If it hits, I put a big red button and then I put whatever that is, and you can put the dollar amount for that, and this should calculate all the math over here. All you got to do is just put in a starting balance, and as you fill in this column and this column, it'll automatically add up this column, right? Now, if you go in and break the formulas, you're gonna have to figure out how to make them work yourself, or I'm gonna put you in timeout, right?
Coach, have you been following Christian's trades on gold?
Who?
Chris, his name is Chris. Not sure how his name is pronounced.
Is he in?
He's
Is
in
he in Iconic?
Solex. He's in Solex, and he puts out a lot of trades during the day.
Yeah, I have not. Is he in? Is he in here? Let me hit stop on this.